Last week, Elon Musk announced that his company Neuralink has successfully implemented one of their microchips in a human brain. Neuralink is developing these microchips with the goal of using them to send artificial signals throughout the human nervous system. The implications of this tech, they're pretty much limitless. It could possibly cure paralysis, improve brain function, possibly even allow us to control our electronic devices just by thinking about it. With this accomplishment, Elon Musk has essentially changed the world and our very concept of reality. He's a genuine pioneer in this aspect, according to Elon Musk, because literally the only source we have for this is Elon Musk, no one else. Like, he sent out one tweet saying that Neuralink has successfully implanted a chip into a human brain. The subject is recovering well and showing promising spikes of neural activity. That's it. That is all we have. We don't have independent cooperation. We don't have the name of the patient. We don't have anything to verify that this is true at all. But still, every news agency in the country ran with this story as if it is absolutely true, which I'm sure it is. And this is something that we were talking about before we started the show, that we couldn't find anything about this patient because this is pretty important. Like, if there's an actual cyborg that exists on planet Earth, we should know what's going on there. And there's nothing there at all. So, Nick, I'll throw it to you. Like, what do you think about this? Like, what were your thoughts when you ran across this news?
Yeah, honestly, when I first heard about this, that was my first response, is to go dig up to find more information about the patient. Because you'd think that since this is a huge corporation, and this is a monumental thing, whether you agree with it or not, like, this has huge impacts
Yes.
on society. Where is the documentation? And what do we know? Like, according to Neuralink, from what I've read at least, their goal is to help people with disabilities. Their goal is to help the livelihood of people and help them do everyday tasks that otherwise maybe they wouldn't be able to do. Which I think is it. Which, if it could be a good goal,
Yep.
but with, like, while you're trying to accomplish that goal, you'd think, to serve some sort of proof that you did,
Any proof.
right.
Any proof.
You would have to disclose what it is you are helping with that patient. um like, did this why did this patient volunteer?
Yep.
Did this patient have a, like, some sort of disability?
Did this
Did,
patient volunteer?
Did they volunteer?
well, did they? I guess I meant to say why, but did they?
Did, yeah.
Oh man, some,
It
like,
is wild.
apocalyptic. Elon Musk is like, just pick a random person at the company.
Yeah, yeah. But
That's what I was
don't know.
thinking. That's if Elon Musk came up to me and was like, "Hey, I got this Neuralink product. We need someone to test it out. You'll be the first human ever to have this prestigious, like, you'll be the first one." And I'd just be like, "Well, if it's so cool, then why don't you do it then, Elon?"
Yeah,
right.
You like cool things, right? You trust this. Why don't you do it? Like, I would never put something in my brain that someone wouldn't put in their own brain.
and
Also,
and
oh, go
oh,
ahead.
go ahead. No, go ahead, please.
Oh no, correct me if I'm wrong. But I'm under the impression that we don't have these kinds of studies available for all of the test subjects either.
So yes, that's what I was gonna go with. That they did it with animals first.
Right.
They did it with a bunch of animals, and then they had it with monkeys. They were trying, and the results. I remember hearing about those results, that these monkeys were getting seizures. Consecutive seizures over and over again. That's what consecutive means, TJ. But they were just they were banging their heads against walls and stuff, and Neuralink denied that any of them died from the procedure, but that's as far as they would go, which is not a lot of confidence. Like, hey, listen, none of them died. Although a lot of the employees from Neuralink reported that, yeah, actually, a lot of them did die. And I was looking up because I'm glad you guys had the same suspicions I did, because the articles were infuriating, because the articles stated it as if it were fact. And every one of them. And then the second paragraph, it said, Elon Musk offered no further clarification. That's when I started digging. And I wanted to see what competitors existed for Neuralink, because there had to be some out there. And I found one, I think it was called Syncrom or something like that. And they were talking about how they were criticizing Neuralink for their animal trials, because in Neuralink's animal trials, 1,500 animals died. And in their trials, like 60 animals died. But it didn't say how many animals each one used, so I didn't have the
Yeah.
percentages on that. And so I was like, okay, but they haven't even suggested they were ready to try it on human beings. But all of a sudden, Elon Musk, he did get FDA approval to try this on people. He did. Like, the FDA said he could do it, but
that's good at least.
yeah, it's something. However, he is also under investigation because of what happened to the animals, because things seem like really bad. So I think, like, this is just my suggestion here from what I saw, that he didn't want them to take away the FDA approval. And so he announced, oh, hey, I tried out a human being while this investigation is going on. But yeah, I don't buy it at all. I don't buy it for a second.
It's honestly So first of all, I totally agree. The articles being written about this, you would think that the source was a police station, the way that they're just unambiguously assuming it to be true. But the interest. Have you guys seen the Edgar Allan Poe show on Netflix?
No.
Called The House of Usher.
There
okay,
is
literally, like, life imitating art here. There is literally an episode about not a Neuralink, but like pharmaceuticals being tested on apes that ended up killing the apes, and the owner of the company pushes them to just hide the deaths because they need this to be advanced to human trials. That's like one of the major plot lines of the entire series. And it's like, I wonder what happened here. I honestly, I don't know enough about FDA approval. Like, I trust FDA approval process pretty darn well. I think it's one of the things this country does.
Yeah.
Like, I trust things that go into my body. I don't have to spend time thinking about whether this thing is going to kill me, because the FDA does that for me. Are they perfect? No. Are there probably ways we can do it better? Yes. But like, overall, I'll trust it. If they say cool, I'll agree, cool. But this one smells to high heaven. Like, all I heard about Neuralink up until here is the monkeys dying. And then suddenly there's a human trial. Like, that doesn't, something is wrong there. It doesn't make sense. I am missing
a nameless human trial.
Right. And that's my thing. If they want to be secretive, there's nothing I can do to stop. There's nothing obviously that I can do to stop that. Corporations are secretive all the time. But my thing is, most of the time when we see a company try to do something like this, and they're successful, they want to show that success off in some way. And so they'll have a team of researchers doing studies, like, look at how good we did, so they can show off how many research came in and did unbiased studies and research. And all of them unanimously show that they did a great job, and companies will give an arm and a leg to have that.
Yep.
So to me, that's a little sus that they're trying to hide their success.
Yeah, like, independent corroboration is literally the least they could do with something this monumental. Like that. That's the big, and it is just like, it seems to be journalistic malpractice that this was reported as fact. And like, you had to dig through every article I found saying that Elon Musk is the only source for this. But when he announced this, my first thought was actually about other announcements that Elon Musk has made over the years. And I wrote a few down, going over his astounding track record here. So you guys remember when Elon Musk was hyping his Hyperloop? You remember what that was supposed to be? It was supposed to be like this vacuum sealed bullet train that got you anywhere in the country in a matter of minutes. And it turned out to be a taxi service through a tunnel, and with, like, streamer lights for some reason. And also, he predicted that Teslas would be fully self-driving by 2015. That was his prediction. 2015, he predicted that all the Teslas would be fully automated, that you could just hop in the car or take you anywhere. For those of you counting, that was 9 years ago. And he has some more for the future, which, make me cast more doubt on this. He had predicted that humans will be on Mars by 2025, which, if you're counting, next year. And I don't think we have, any plans to be taking. We'd have to be sending them out now,
We're
basically.
sending the Neuralink guy out.
We're sending the Neuralink.
He volunteered.
Hey, trust me. He also predicted that you've seen those displays he has with his robots, that are there, picking up boxes and moving like, vampire, just still like Frankenstein and everything. He predicted that he will have 1 billion of these autonomous robots on the earth by 2030. It looks like I have written here. So yeah, I don't think that's going to happen either. But this guy couldn't successfully roll out the Cybertruck. I mean, a truck, like, he couldn't do that. So I don't know why anyone still gives credit to Elon for these wild predictions. And look, it's just so obvious. I mean, it's obvious. He's been doing this for decades now, where he throws out this incredible innovation to make everyone think that he's Tony Stark. They put a bunch of money into investment, and he's robbing people blind and giving them piss poor results. And if I can see it, I don't know why news organizations don't, act like that it's something different. It's crazy to me.
Well, it is a good story. Like at the bottom line of this, and this is something that I feel two ways about the subject of Elon Musk, because on one hand, he deserves all the criticism that he gets. Like, you're entirely right, DJ. This is not an inventor. This is not a scientist. This is not a technologist, as the article that you'd sent over claimed him to be. This is a hype man. He's a incredibly successful, incredibly wealthy hype man. He's very good at pumping up a company, getting investment. Like, he is a businessman. He is, and parading as this inventor. But that is not what he is. What he's good at is getting hype around a product, getting investment into it, and then moving on to a new thing. And that's what he does. And the fact that people call him the next Iron Man pisses me off too. But at the same time, the things he's hyping are generally good things. Like as much as, I would be really upset if he, bribed the FDA to let him test on a human and they died. Like, that's terrible. But this technology is an important thing. Like, we're going to figure this out as a species. It is something that we should be investing in, because it has so many, being able to just interface with technology, and all of the massive sci-fi implications are crazy, but simply being able to interface with technology just with our brain, it could cause so many positive things, especially for accessibility for so many people. But you talk about electric cars, and you talk about space travel. Like, he's good at these things, and these are things that we should, as progressives, I feel like, generally be on his side with. But he just makes it so damn hard with his politics and everything he's doing with Twitter. It really splits my brain, because I feel like sometimes there are groups of people on the left who will get a little, like, regressive with their technology views just because Elon Musk supports something. And I don't know, it's something I really have put a lot of thought into over the past, 5 years of Elon's slow decline into madness. But Nick, how do you feel about that?
Honestly, for me, I think ultimately, I mean, there is the argument to be made that all of these things that he wants to do are better, if they were successful, are better for the world. But let's say that everything that he's trying to do, like Neuralink, let's just take that by itself. Let's say that everything that he wants to do with Neuralink, he does, and let's say that everything he's saying is true. And let's say he's able to roll that out in like 5 or 10 years, right? With great power comes great responsibility. We also have to ask our questions about not just transparency, which is something that we've talked about earlier, but also accessibility. Who is going to be able to afford these implants? And if it rolls out like other technology that we have right now, what happens if they decide to charge, for instance, like a subscription fee or something? Like, bear with me. What happens if they have to pay like upkeep costs, like monthly or yearly or whatever, to continue to have this thing that helps them? And what happens if they can't afford that, right? Then we start thinking about a lot of the problems that we have with our healthcare system in the US. And when we start looking at it that way, even though we have remarkable technology within our healthcare system, for the modern person, it's ineffective because the normal person can't get access to it,
Mhm.
right? So I would argue that once we start looking at all of these things surrounding the success of this product, we, even if it is successful, even if everything is true, we still have to start thinking about the consequences of this product being there and how helpful it will actually be for humanity. Even if everything is perfect, it still might not help people, right? It could still just be a money funneling product to exploit people by continuously bankrupting the people that use it. We don't know. All of these plans, as far as I know, and again, correct me if I'm wrong, they don't seem to be public knowledge. His future
Mhm.
plans with all of this Neuralink stuff, we don't really know what his long-term plans are with it.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
um, yeah, I don't know. I'm skeptical because even if everything he says was true, I we still could run into monumental amounts of problems.
Yeah, my thoughts on the utility of Elon Musk. I listen, uh all these technological advancements do not require Elon Musk. Like that's what bothers me the most about it is that
Mhm.
we think of self-driving technology and we think of Elon Musk. There are plenty of companies that have been working on self-driving technology before, sorry, before Elon Musk announced, Tesla. There are plenty of companies. I can think of there's at least one other company that's working on the same Neuralink technology that Elon Musk is working on. There's other transportation companies. I mean, this is stuff that we don't need Elon Musk for. All he's doing is, writing the popularity of his name to, scam investors out of money, which I don't care about the investors. I'm fine with that. But, he's developed a cult around himself because of this. And so that'd be my response to this, that I mean, I don't think anything good that comes from Elon Musk, talking about cool technological shit is something that's not already done. So that's how I see it, the whole Elon Musk thing. But I don't know. It is weird to see what you're talking about, Nick, about where this is going to end up. And I think something like that would be pretty important that we know how it works. Like if there's a machine that can interact with your literal neurons, I think that's something people should know about. That's something that,
Right.
shouldn't be left up to some CEO somewhere to put something in your brain. That seems like if anything should be, controlled by everybody, it should be something like that. But I don't know. It's just fun watching Elon Musk. John, you mentioned how Elon Musk is a great hype man. You know what's weird about that is he's always been, this carnival barker, this big
Mhm.
guy getting a lot of attention. But he was like this 15 years ago or whenever 20 years ago, whenever he first started, getting on the scene. And that's before anyone had ever I didn't hear Elon Musk talk, I feel like, until 6, 7 years ago. And he's not a good speaker. He's a terrible speaker. He's and like, look, people who are can't speak well, that doesn't mean that you're unintelligent. That's not what I'm trying to
Mhm.
say here. But
Hmm.
if I were unintelligent and I were a bad speaker, I would not I would not go out and verify that like Elon Musk seems like dead set on doing, which makes it even weird that he's such a apparently effective hype man. And the only reason I think that it actually works is because his hype started out before he made himself a public facing figure. He was always behind the scenes, and it's like, oh, you have the name and the money of Elon Musk. That made him popular. But now he goes out there and, stumbles his way through trying to talk about how this robot works that's barely functioning. And he's successful. It's wild to me, but I like seeing the House of Cards collapse. And if I would bet money on anything, it's that this is complete nonsense. It's complete nonsense he made up just to try to, raise his popularity, and it's going nowhere. And thank God, because we don't need someone like Elon Musk controlling something like this.
Yeah, I think a couple things that have been said here can wrap the bow on the entire conversation. And that's what you said about the investors,
Mm-hmm.
and what we said about do these things actually work? Because, yeah, I don't feel bad about the investors losing their money, but I
Mm-hmm.
do feel bad about the opportunity cost of what that means, because it means that Elon Musk has carnival barked his way into getting these billions of dollars that
Yep.
could have gone to the types of companies that like we mentioned before, like that Nick mentioned, that are actually doing these things the right way. They're not
Yeah.
accelerating just for the sake of accelerating and growing and making Elon a lot of money. There are so many things in this world that we could be putting all of our human resources into that we
Yep.
aren't, because people like Elon are hogging all of the resources and putting them into crazy pipe dreams that sometimes might move progress and be good, but also sometimes might hold us back, like with the Hyperloop stopping us from building a high-speed rail. Like it's about the opportunity costs to me, and I think that's the real reason to criticize someone like Elon than it is the actual end goal or the obsession with progressing technology. All right, guys, you made it to that point in the show where it is basically over. You're just sitting here still listening. You probably are still cooking and haven't finished, haven't clicked off the show yet. But we very much appreciate that because that helps the algorithm. We have our excellent guest, Nick Powers, here. I've been a fan of Nick's for a long time. It was a coup to get him on the show, but I'll let him tell you guys where to find him because he makes some excellent content.
Hey, yeah, thank you. I'm a huge fan of both of you as well. You can find me TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube at that Nick Powers guy. It's the same everywhere. My novel, As the Pizza Burns, you can buy anywhere you buy books, especially online. Sometimes you can't find it in brick and mortar stores, but yeah, you can find it anywhere you buy books online.
Hey guys, thanks a lot. Man. We appreciate having Nick on here. It was fantastic. Be sure to go out there and find his book. Find our pages, follow us all. Like, share, subscribe, and if you don't follow us, we will find a way to follow you. So enjoy the rest of your evening knowing that.